If you're copying the same AI prompts, links, support emails, or API keys across multiple AutoKit workflows, things can get messy fast. You change one thing, and now you're editing workflows one by one. AutoKit's new global variable feature fixes that. Store value once, reuse it anywhere. Update it once, and every workflow updates automatically. Let me show you how it works. Think of variables as reusable pieces of information you store once at the workspace level. Things like your company name, support email, API key, or an AI prompt. Basically anything you find yourself reusing across workflows. The big payoff is simple. If that value ever needs to change, you update the variable once, and every workflow using it is instantly updated. No hunting through automations. That's the whole idea. All right, now let's actually create a variable and walk through the different types AutoKit gives you. So we're on the variables dashboard. Let's go ahead and create our first one here, and by default, it'll start you off on the custom variables. We'll take a look at system variables in a second. So let's click on create first variable. So once you click on add custom variable, you're going to see a bunch of input fields. So the first one is key, and that is going to be the name of your variable. I'm just going to paste in here one that I've created called my variable. My variable does this. How about that? And then you're going to have several types of variables to choose from. String is probably the most common. You can put in things like AI prompts, email addresses, messages, things like that. Those will all be strings. So for the other types, we have number. It's a numeric value. So think of percentages, financial information, things like that. Anything that you want to calculate or reference later. So for Boolean, it's conditional logic. It's a true false switch. So you could have enable a workflow branch, let's say, yes or no, that type of thing. Then there is JSON. Now JSON is probably more advanced, but useful for storing structured data for API calls. And then there's secret. Now secret is storing sensitive information, hence the name. So things like API keys, passwords, credentials, tokens, things like that. And so instead of pasting your API keys over and over again in every workflow, you can just store them here once and then just call the variable. And I think that's pretty cool. So let's just stick with string. Let's make it nice and easy on ourselves. And then for our value, we'll just put in test. Why not? So let's click on create variable. Now let's go over to system variables. Right now there is 20 available to you, and there are things like workspace ID. One of the cool ones that I have been using, current date time or date time human, local date time human is a good one. So those are your system variables. All right, so let's see this in action. So I've got a workflow here called the SEO Review Agent Demo. It's got a AutoKit AI agent in there. It's got an OpenAI call, an API request. And I want to replace some of those components with variables. So I'm going to go over to the variables tab here. I'm going to right click, open up in a new tab so I can keep both tabs open. I can go back and forth. So the first thing I want to take a look at is my API request down here. So right now my API request to Gina has a bearer token in there, and I've used Gina in a whole bunch of different workflows. So I want to create a variable just for the token. So I'm going to go over to my variables here. And I'm going to click on add variable. And this one's going to be called Gina bearer token. And you want to have this type to be secret. And I'm going to copy and paste in that bearer token from my API request here. And we'll paste it in over into our variables. Okay, so I've pasted in the value and I'll click on create variable. So now we have our secret variable in there. I'm going to go back over to our workflow here. I'm going to delete the bearer token and then I'm going to add in the variable. So I'm going to delete the token. I'm going to hit the @ symbol here, click on variables, and now we'll see my bearer token is in there. I'll just select that. And now my bearer token is now a variable. How cool is that? Now you'll see down here, I have this selector. Now I've been using this selector a couple of times. Maybe I'll want to create that as a variable. So I can just literally copy that, go back over to my variables, click on add new variable. I'll call this the X target selector. It will be a string and I'll paste in the value and I'll click on create variable. Then back in our workflow, I will delete that value there. So we'll go into the value, hit the @ symbol, click on variables, and then we'll select our X target selector. And you could do this for anything in this API request if you're going to be using it over and over again. So for now, though, I'll just click on continue and click on save. Now we have our OpenAI call here. Now let's take a look at that and see what we can replace as a variable. So I've got an AI role here. That's probably something I'm going to be reusing, the SEO consultant. So why not create a variable for that? So again, we can just copy this, go back over to our variables tab, click on add variable. This one would be AI role SEO consultant. And again, we'll use string, and string I think will probably be the most common. We'll paste in our value of our prompt and click on create variable. Highlight all of our prompt here and click backspace or delete. Then we'll hit the @ symbol, variables, and then insert our variable here. And for our message here, we are allowing the AI agent to do what it needs to do, think for itself here for our messaging, but we have all of this text here of all the things it's got to do. So wouldn't that be great that we could just put that in a variable and then we could reuse it down the road? So I'm going to highlight all of this, copy it, go back over to variables, click on add variable. So this will be the AI message SEO scoring matrix, something like that. And then we'll just paste in our value, all of that text, and click on create variable. And now we've got a variable for that. So now we can just delete all of that text, hit the @ symbol, and insert our messaging SEO scoring matrix. So we can click on continue, and then we can click on test action. Now it's not going to have any of the data to base an SEO matrix, but we should have a completed test here, and it will even give us scoring and things like that. So there you go, no errors, and it gave us a score and a page overview, all the things that we were asking it to do, just with a simple variable. So now we can click on save. Let's do one more. In this case, I'm going to be doing a system variable. So in our Google Docs that's generated, I've got the document name as something that the AI is going to create for us, but wouldn't it be great just to have an additional component here of a system variable? And this is why I love doing this, because I would have to use a separate formatter action step here. And now I can just hit the @ symbol here and go into system to get a date and time. I think for this, we'll just put in local date. So we'll select that. And now when it generates a document name, it will have the document name that our AI agent creates along with a hyphen and the current date. Variables are one of those features that seem simple at first until your workflows start growing. That's when you start to see the real benefits. Reusable prompts, centralized settings, secure credentials, and dynamic workflow data all become incredibly useful, especially if you're building AI-powered automations. If you want to try global variables for yourself, check out the link below in the description. And if this video was helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.